Okay. Now the best way I can, because you notice I haven't described anything about this game yet. This game is for the ultra ridiculously, insanely hardcore D&D type person out there.
Really?
Oh yeah. Because the graphics are a whole old school. Number one. But number two, when you go to start your quest, you are presented with a list of options to create your character. One barbarian, mage, wizard, uh, on and a paladin, ranger, literally like a list of 10 choices. Then you pick, do you want them to be chaotic, neutral, lawful? Do you want them to be good, bad, evil, whatever?
Dude,
Then,
these are ASCII graphics, store.
well, I said they were hardcore. And then you have to pick male, female, blah, blah, blah. And then you're literally just dropped in a dungeon. Ain't no fancy intro, no fancy graphics, no fancy sound effects, no fancy. And then your job is to basically crawl around a dungeon and find and kill stuff and get stuff. There are actually legitimate commands you can type during the game. For instance, I believe it is S space 20 means you're going to search that area 20 times. That's old school D&D, folks.
Mm-hmm.
When you actually say, well, I'm going to search in here. And the DM asks you, how long are you going to search? You have to say how much time you're going to devote to it. You say how much time, the DM rolls the dice, plays the odds, and if you get lucky, you might find something special. He might just be rolling the dice just to mess with you because there's really nothing there to find. You know?
Is that what can we go on a tangent? So is that what the dungeon master has the power to do anything like that? Just make stuff up on?
Completely.
Wow, yeah, really?
Completely on the fly. One of the players' goals and objectives is to try to game the DM. You know, you got to try to think a little bit smarter, a little bit out of his range, so you can get what you want done. And his job is to basically just make you have no idea really what's going on. He tells you, here's where you start, here's your objective, or, you meet this person, they tell you about this. That's your mission.
Gotcha. Okay.
And then the whole game is basically just you trying to outsmart him trying to outsmart you, and you rolling dice to see if stuff happens.
I got you. Thanks.
No problem.
All right, back to NetHack.
Yeah, and if that's what you like, this would probably end up being a insane time sink. If this does not sound like something you like, Sean, what do you have coming up for us?
Nice. You guys taking control.
Because there's nothing else to say about it. I was just stretching it out.
I just wanted to comment on the whole D&D thing, man. My wife and I were at Panera Bread, I don't know, a couple months back, and there was a group of, like young teenagers all at a table. That's totally what they were playing D&D now. I mean, these books have changed since I was a kid, but
it was officially D&D.
I'm pretty sure. I mean, I couldn't hear my wife, dude. I was just like, oh, I want to be over there so bad. I want to be, because I could just hear him. Because I grew up when my brother was, 3 years older than me. So like all his buddies would let me sit there. They would let me sit and watch for like a year.
A year?
Yeah, seriously. They would not let me play. They were real serious about it, and they went through like 2 long adventures within that year, and finally like the following, because they would, it wasn't even a whole year. Like they would play in the fall all through winter. And as soon as summer came, then it was wiffle ball and football and stuff like that. But I had to wait to the following year to jump in. I loved it, man. My brother still has the books. I'm trying to get them from him.
Wow.
Yeah, I'll say I played it for a while, and the way we played it was we would show up to a guy's house at like 8 at night. Beer, all other kinds of things were around. And then about 8 or so in the morning, people finally started to go home.
Yeah.
And the whole night just going through adventures. And of course, the first 6 months, anything I did, I ended up getting bit by either a badger or a beaver or something, a chipmunk. I always got attacked, bees, whatever.
Yeah, I when I played, the dungeon master threw me out. He refused for as long as I was there. He refused to continue the game. I had to leave.
Whoa.
Yeah.
What'd you do to him?
I was just a real jerk. I think I was just like anything he said, I would say it was stupid. You know what I mean?
Did you sleep with his sister?
No, nothing that exciting. But I just pissed him off real bad. So that was my experience. But I like playing some of the D&D type games on the computer.
I like the dice.
Yeah, the dice. If there was just nice dice.
Yeah, and of course, whenever I think of the dice, I now think of a Dan Hand.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. All right, well, since you threw it over to Sean, what do you got up next?
Yeah, you threw me a curveball there, man. Okay. Basically, another game. I think there may be a theme here tonight. It's called Fragger. It's kind of like, I guess you could say it's like an Angry Birds in a sense, where there's, every board's different and you kind of have to destroy things. So there's like little guys, and you have to chuck your grenades, and you have to, you put your finger on your screen to where you want to aim it, and then you can kind of draw it forward or draw it back as far as how much of a loft, power in that loft you want to go, and you get like 4 or 5 grenades or something like that per board. And sometimes, it starts off real simple. You throw a grenade at a guy, and if it hits the ground or hits something, it'll roll. So you have to kind of, get a feel for how hard you want to throw it and where you're going to, ricochet off of, because it doesn't just hit something, blow up. You could use a box to kind of hit something and bank it back towards the person. And, sometimes there'll be a guy down below in a cavern or something, and there's a little hole, and you got to get it into that hole and then roll backwards. So it's just a silly little addictive game for when you're sitting around, like I had said before the show, in a waiting room or something like that, or on break at work, play a couple boards, and that's it.
Yeah,
it's pretty cool.
It does look pretty cool. I think I would like this better than Angry Birds, to be honest.
Yeah, my wife was like, "Oh, I got Angry Birds Space," and I'm like, "Oh, great."
Is she iPhone or Android?
Both, actually. She's got a Droid phone, but she's got my old Touch that she plays on, the kids play on. And...
Sweet. Cool. What do you guys think about this? Let's see what the panel says.
Sharp. I think it looks pretty sharp. I like the fact that also it's not just an army guy. For some reason, I mean, I like it, but they have like Roman guy standing there with a grenade.
Yeah, I saw that too. I'm like, am I seeing that right?
Well, and then they have a pirate, which it's hard to go wrong with pirates or ninjas. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, after you get so far, you can unlock different boards and levels. I never, my wife's gotten super far on it, and I hadn't played it since I used to have my Touch, so I got this about a week ago or something like that, and on break or something. If I whip out the netbook and watch some TV shows, and sometimes I'm just like, I don't feel like it. I'll just play some little silly game or something. And the sound effects are really cool if you have headphones on when the grenades go off. It's really cool.
Really?
Nice thump.
Nice. Very cool game. Looks very, like you said, you can just get into it for a couple minutes, play it, move on.
Yep.
And it is free, so that's always a plus.
Totally.
Man, 5-star ratings, over 11,000. All the rest of the ratings, 4, 3, 2, and 1, is barely over like 3,600.
Yeah.
Wow, that's pretty good.
It is good ratings. Nice. Thank you, Sean.
All right,
Eric, over to you.
I think we got a theme going with these games. I think, and I was saying this before the show, I think it has something to do with it being called Google Play now. So it's automatically all about the games and not the apps. I wanted to bring this up. If somebody hasn't listened to last week's episode of Android App Addicts, we brought up a thing called Humble Bundle. And it was basically you can get some games, pay whatever you want, and then you get these games added to your download.
Truck? What is this?
So Humble Bundle came out. They must be doing so good that they came out with 2 more games to add, and they added those to the Humble Bundle for people who have already paid for it. The first one is called Snuggle Truck, and the next one is called Smuggle Truck. They're basically the same game, but one of them you're rescuing animals and you're taking them to the zoo, and you got to drive your truck. And I like the name of the first level. It's called See Me Rollin', They Hatin'.
What?
Unfortunately, it's on Take It Easy. There we go. Yeah, that's the name of the first
Nice.
level. See Me Rollin', They Hatin'. So here's my purple truck, and it's full of animals, and I just basically got to drive them to the zoo without losing too many of them, spilling out the back. And you accelerate and stuff by pressing and letting go of the screen, and then you can move your truck by tilting your device forward and backward to make softer landings so you don't lose all your animals out the back.
So the way to lose them is if your truck gets too far of an incline backwards?
Yeah,
I get
backwards
you.
or forwards. You can flip them out.
Nice.
And then you're trying to catch fuzzies too. And actually, that was a very good run, and I didn't even use the tilt at all. There's also power-ups that you can get, like rockets and stuff that go out the back.
Eric does this. When he demos a game for us,
He scored.
he just does amazing because he's not fully paying attention, but he's just cruising along.
Yeah, it worked last week too with the skee ball game.
Yeah,
It's like
exactly.
that.
That's about,
So then, like I was saying, there was 2 games. This is called Snuggle Truck, and the other one is called Smuggle Truck with an M, and that is basically the same game except for you're smuggling people across the border instead of animals back to the zoo.
Yeah.
And if you've
It
already
was
bought
first-
Humble, go ahead.
Sorry, I was going to say it was first called Smuggle Truck. Some of the app stores said this is not politically correct. You shouldn't be smuggling aliens over the country border. So then he just changed the icons and changed the avatars and changed the M to an N in the name, and he made
Snuggle Truck. That's so funny. And they're these cute little animals, right? That you're taking to the zoo, right?
Yep. And you got to catch fuzzies, also in your truck to get extra points and stuff. Now on the Smuggle Truck, you got to catch babies. Yeah.
Wow, nice one. Anybody have anything on Smuggle/Snuggle Truck?
I honestly didn't have time to try that one yet, but it looks good.
Sean?
How exactly does the Humble Bundle work? So do they bundle like a couple games together, you buy it, and then like they'll put a couple more out, or?
Well, that's what it is so far. You bought 4 games for whatever price you wanted. There was a 5th game that if you paid more than the average, you would get the 5th game. And I paid $4.61 to get all of them. And then this week they just gave me an email and said, "Hey, thanks for buying. And by the way, here we just added another game." So I'm like, "Oh, cool. Yeah. I'll check that out."
I think they do it just to bump sales. This round, there's still 3 days left in this one. They've sold 97,000 bundles, totaling more than $623,000.
Wow.
And the gimmick is they basically send you an email. When that email, you click the link, you can download these for Android, Mac, Linux, Windows, any one of them. And they're totally 100% DRM free. So you can just take them, download them all, and just keep them on your server, put them in your Dropbox, put them in your Box.net. And anytime you want, you go back to that email, click it, and re-download the games.
So then do they just like bundle those games for a week or 2 weeks, and then they change the bundle? And is that how it works? Because I mean, you guys talk about it, and I always say I'm gonna go check it out, and I never do. But I really, that game looks sweet. I really need to start checking this out.
Right. Well, it used to be like owned like twice a year or so they would do it. Here recently, it's like this one's going to end in 3 days. It wouldn't shock me if by April 19th or 20th they have another one already going.
They're getting pretty smart, aren't they?
Yeah.
And then are these games that are on the market, and then they just get them like a package bundled up, or?
Well, sometimes the games are unveiled here for like Android. Sometimes they're games that have already been around a while.
All right.
Like Cogs, I got when it was the